Before I get into this video, I just want to say if you hear screaming, yelling, laughing, talking in the background, the whole family is downstairs. But I had to go ahead and get this video off my chest, so I apologize in advance. As I was walking around the house tonight, I just kept hearing God say, God will not bring you trash. God does not bring you trash. It was so heavy on my spirit. I knew it was definitely time to go ahead and release this video. God begins to minister to me about him not bringing you trash. So he began explaining to me, God is not going to bring you a man, you have to build. He says, your hands were only meant to create what can be made from scratch. And when he said that, it made me think about how I love red velvet cake, especially red velvet cupcakes. But I can't make red velvet cupcakes. And that's exactly why I go right to HEB and get me some cupcakes. So good, so delicious, so moist. I don't know who came up with that recipe, but I know they got it straight from the throne. God bless them, okay? But give me a nail brush, some monomer, some nail tips, some acrylic, and I can create. Give me some paper, a pen. I might can't draw you a portrait, but I can write you a poem. But don't give me no man, because I can't do nothing with that. There's only one creator, and we can only create what our individual hands can build. And even when it comes to children, if you think about it, we don't even create our own children. Without God, no matter what you do or who you do it with, there will not be anything in that womb. We don't go into a laboratory putting DNA and chromosomes together. God doesn't ask us green eyes or brown eyes. We don't even grow our children ourselves or even go into labor on our own. It's all God. So if you can't create a man, you cannot build one. If you cannot create a man, you were never destined to build one. You can't build a man into a godly one. You can't build an unfaithful man into a faithful one because you are not his creator. As a woman, we really have to stop making men our projects. God will never throw you a bucket of trash and say, make the best of it. I used to love watching Project Runway, and they would have these projects where they would have to go dumpster diving, or they would give them like $20, $50 to go to the dollar store, and they were supposed to take these things and make big extravagant gowns with. Our insecurity will have us clinging onto junk, praying that God will bless it, that God would put his name on it. I used to love me a good project, like, oh, he got mommy issues. Oh, his daddy walked out on him. Yes. I used to love trying to clean up other people's broken pieces, but then wonder why my hands are bleeding. Broken men used to be my favorite. Yeah, he cute, but is he broken though? And of course, this was happening all subconsciously, but nevertheless, it was most definitely happening. Whole men were such a turnoff for me because they left absolutely no space or no opportunity for me to not confront my own trauma and broken heart. And when you don't know how to rid yourself of trauma, you end up clinging onto it for dear life. I used to be double texting, talking about where you at? Why you not texting me back? Why aren't you looking for another job? Let me do your resume. All at Walmart, like, let me buy him a pack of socks. Just a whole mess. Because trauma will make a micromanager out of you. You feel so out of touch with your own reality that you pour your all into managing someone else's trauma. So God gave me these 15 signs that you need to let that man go. The first sign he gave me is there's other women. Just because a prodigal spouse is not a part of my own testimony, I'm not going to ignore the fact that for other women it is. However, 9 times out of 10, if you clicked on this video, that man is not your prodigal. If every time you look up, he's involving himself with other women, if he's hurt you to the point he has broken your heart, chances are he is not your prodigal. If you have him clutched in your hand, scared to lose sight of him, so much so that you have lost sight of God, chances are he is not your prodigal. Can God reconcile? Yes. Can God restore? Yes. But God isn't going to bring you something attached to heartache, tears, and sadness, in the sense that he isn't going to force you to digest something bitter. God will bring you something greater before he brings you something that left you bitter. But again, God does restore and he does bring about reconciliation. And I understand that all of our stories aren't the same, but that is not the common story. Don't you fast for no unfaithful men. You better get up and get you something to eat. Don't stay up all night praying over a trash bin, because ain't nothing good in there. And I just heard in my spirit, junkyard dogs, because I kind of felt bad, praying over a trash bin. But listen, if you knew the spirit, if you truly knew the soul of some of these men out here, you would understand why God is speaking in this language. Sign number 2 is no sense of direction. No personal sense of direction. He can't tell you his goals. He can't tell you a 3-year plan. He can't tell you a 5-year plan. He says things like, I'm trying to get this money. Okay, well, how you plan on getting that money, sir? What does that look like for you? When you get the money, what are you going to do with it? You don't know. Anybody that gets offended, anybody who gets upset by you asking them a direct question concerning their sense of direction is someone who has no sense of direction. The third sign is he leaves you feeling confused. He leaves you not knowing where you stand, not knowing what he wants or sees in you. A man who truly desires you is never going to leave you with questions. Number 4, he can't be around you without making sexual innuendos. Talking, touching, throwing hints, giving you that look. A kingdom man is not going to have any problem composing himself because he's going to know what he's dealing with. He's going to know that you are worthy of respect. First and foremost, because you are worthy of God's honor. Number 5, he's bothered by your growth. This is the type of man who doesn't celebrate you loudly, doesn't encourage you to follow your dreams, doesn't try to involve himself in your goals healthily and respectfully, and diminishes your accomplishments. A man who doesn't encourage you to do better, but seems to always be at the forefront of your destruction. Number 6 is he talks about moving forward in a relationship with no mention of marriage. He talks about moving in, talks about having kids or any future plans, but never mentions marriage. This goes back to no sense of direction. You just moving. You just doing what you want to do, how you want to do it. No. Number 7, he doesn't respect you as a woman. He wants to see you in the middle of the night. He doesn't speak highly of you. He doesn't speak life into you. He doesn't value your opinion. Number 8, he doesn't respect your spiritual boundaries. He maybe pressures you to have sex. He doesn't respect your decision to become celibate. He doesn't honor your fast, and he doesn't honor your times of consecration. I remember I told my ex, before I even just fully understood what fasting even was, I said, I just feel like God wants me to take a week of just not talking to nobody, not talking to you, not seeing you, and to just read my Bible and pray. And he was like, what? He really was not feeling that at all whatsoever. And then next thing you know, it's 2.5 days into it and somebody's knocking on my door. I'm like, who is this? I open the door and it's him. And I remember it was so weird. It just made me feel so uncomfortable. At the time, I did not realize that my spirit was disturbed by that, because why are you here? What's wrong with you? But anyway, number 9 is he's emotionally unstable or emotionally unavailable. And this is the type of man who gets upset easily. He acts too attached or he acts too detached. He's jealous. He's possessive. It's a problem when you don't text right back. A problem when you choose church, handling your business, etc. over him. He's the type of man that says things like, I've been hurt in the past. Even my mama left me. Everybody walked out on me. The type of man that says things like, man, I pull it back when I start falling too hard. These type of men cannot receive love. They don't want love. They're not interested in love. They want to be abused. So the more you try to love them, you're further pushing them away because they secretly want to be abused. Because at the end of the day, they are troubled, traumatized little boys in the bodies of fully grown men. You can't fix them. You cannot build them. They mama didn't do it, so now God gotta do it. They daddy didn't do it, only the Father can. Number 10, he idolizes money, attention, and or status. This is a strong sign of insecurity. An insecure man is spiritually tossed to and fro, never satisfied with anything. That inner child, that little boy that I just spoke of, is broken and utterly destroyed. Get ready for a roller coaster ride. If you choose to commit to a man that is insecure, get ready to ride that roller coaster, okay? Get ready for those up and down emotions. You cannot love a man into security. You cannot love a man into having peace. You cannot love a man into feeling comfortable with who he is. Only God can do that. Number 11 is you can't pray with him. Do you feel comfortable praying with him? Would you feel comfortable just calling him and saying, you know what, I really need to pray. Can you pray with me? If you cannot pray with that man, don't lay with that man. No, seriously, if you cannot pray with him, you need to let him go. Leave him be. Number 12, you don't see any spiritual fruit. Baby, that tree is dead. It's dead. It's dead. Ain't no water in that tree. Ain't no repot in that tree. It's dead. No life. Number 13, there is no mention of God. Matthew 12:34 says, out of the mouth the heart speaks. What do you hear? What is he saying? What is he even talking about? You can tell exactly who a person is by what comes out of their mouth. And if you are not impressed by what comes out of their mouth, regardless of how you think you feel, you are not impressed with what is in their heart. Number 14 says, he believes in God. I can't tell you how many times I've heard somebody say, or even I've said, no, he believes in God, but if there's a but, baby, he don't believe in God. If you out here moving with absolutely no conviction, you do not believe in God. If you out here doing as you please, you don't care who you hurt, you don't care who's destroyed in the process, you do not believe in God. A kingdom woman, a daughter of the Most High, does not need a man who simply believes in God. A man who simply believes in God is not worthy of partnering with the true daughter of God. We have to be real with ourselves. Okay, yeah, he may believe in God. He may acknowledge God. He may acknowledge the need to go to church, the need to read the word, the need to pray. But is he serving God? Is he walking with God and walking with him in a way that there's evidence? Just like the word says, every tree is known by its fruit. I don't care what's coming out of a person's mouth. It's their fruit bearing witness to what they speak. And the last one, he fine, but his spirit ain't. It's giving rich mocha, okay? Them waves, baby, they hidden. He got his little J's on, little Mary jeans, okay? Pretty teeth. Got his little chain on. He got that little southern accent. All right. Ooh. But listen, spirit, horrendous, disgusting. But just like God told me, you will be surprised what a person's spirit actually looks like. A person could be everything you like on the outside, fine, okay? Because God knew what he was doing when he was creating, all right? He knew exactly what he was doing, okay? But the spirit, ooh, your spirit knows when something is not right. That's why you feel anxious when you see their name pop up. That's why you talk to them on the phone and get off feeling all frazzled. You don't know where you at. You don't know who you are. You walking back and forth through the house looking crazy. You thought that little stomach drop feeling was butterflies, but really, that's your spirit shuddering in utter disgust and panic. Heal yourself so that you don't waste your gifts of healing on men committed to staying broken. Heal yourself so that you can stop expecting less than and start accepting God's best for you. Heal yourself so that you can flourish in peace and in wholeness as you were created to. Heal yourself so you can fully let go of what you know is not only hurting you, but suffocating your soul. You truly have to get to the root of your insecurities. You got to get to the root of your traumas. Sometimes you got to go to therapy. Sometimes you got to talk about it. You got to write it out. You got to voice record it. You have to let it go so you can be free, so you can free yourself and begin reprogramming your mind. Me and one of my sisters, Brianna Harvey, is actually going to be doing a Zoom. It's coming up really soon, discussing insecurity and self-confidence. And of course, when we get the date and everything sorted out, I'm definitely going to post it. So y'all be on the lookout for that. But God just wants you to know it does not matter how many men you've slept with. It doesn't matter how many abusive relationships you've experienced. It doesn't matter what or who you tolerated in the past. You can always choose a time to grow. There are 1,440 minutes in a day. That's 86,400 seconds that you can decide that you deserve and are allowed better. You do not have to commit to a story of shame and embarrassment. You are not too tainted to make the decision that you are worth more, because every day that God puts breath in your lungs, He decides that you are enough and that you are more than worthy.